All right, hey YouTube, let's get ready for part 2. If you haven't watched it, watch part 1 of this video, which shows you how to make this nav route that I made using Apple shortcuts on a phone, a Mac and iPhone, but you could just use an iPhone for easily repeatable routes. This video is covering a number of different scenarios that I've shown over the past couple of years in my videos and how they've improved here on FSD Beta 10.12.2. All right, so there was the route that we had set up. We're going to engage FSD Beta and see how it does. Now, I will say, I've been driving the past couple days on 10.12.2, and for the week prior on 10.12.1, I had a couple videos made for 10.12.1. They were fairly boring, and there were some mistakes, but 10.12.2 over the past couple days has been spectacular. I wish I was recording some of these things, a couple mistakes, but back and forth, no interventions to a couple destinations I had. So, the first thing I want to show you that's been plaguing me for well over a year was the phantom stop sign that no matter what, through map updates or whatnot, was stopping my car at this intersection, right? And now it goes perfectly through. So that's finally been fixed. I'm so happy to see that. Who knows whether it's a map under, it wasn't the navigation map update, but some kind of maps that they're doing here. I don't know. But that's so great that that's fixed. So as I was saying, some super drives with no interventions. My mom was with me. We went to go float at Synergy Float Spa in North Alexandria, which is something I do now every month. I love it. It's so relaxing, and hopefully that relaxation can show through on this video today. But if you've never tried that before, highly recommend it. I've tried that on a vacation for Christmas, and now I'm going once a month. Anyway, so beautiful turn there.
In 500 feet,
the only thing that I would say after the last nav update is it thinks the speed limit is 50 miles an hour on this road. We have a car in front of me, so it doesn't make too much of a difference.
Now stay straight to take the Fairfax
but every time I drive on that without one, I manually pop down the speed and hit a snapshot, hopefully to capture that and change it. I would really love some kind of Waze-like user mapping. Okay, I don't know why we need to get in the right lane, but hey, why not? I will snapshot that because that wasn't perfect. There was really no reason to do that. So I know I've seen a lot of things on Twitter about this version of the beta not being that great, but that's not my experience. It's been, like I said, phenomenal. I wish I had the camera with me, and part of it was, hey, I'm just going to drive, and of course, the camera's not on, not running, and I'm like, wow, I wish I brought it with me. Okay, so nice merge there, even though that truck had just come in to my lane. Now, if you haven't watched too many videos with FSD Beta and Waypoints, the Waypoint system is not perfect. The only thing you can do is either navigate to a point and stop and put it in park, or edit the route, because that's what it's intended for. It's like you're going from one stop to the other, so it does prefer destinations versus road points. However, that being said, there are a couple other ways you can use it for beta testing. So what I do is we'll edit the route and delete the next waypoint after I'm certain that it's going to give me the route that I want. And since the next waypoint is down this road after we take a left, I'm just going to wait until we take a left to delete that waypoint. All right, nice exit. Yeah, this version, for me, I have had zero major problems over the past couple days. Maybe an intervention here or there. I think on the last drive, the only intervention I had from that drive North Alexandria through town, the interstate, and then to my house was on a curve, which I'll show later, where the car was a little bit to the left of the curb and there was a big truck next to me, and I just was too close to the truck. It wasn't merging or anything, it was just too close for comfort. So, yeah, pretty happy with this update.
Now turn left onto Who's Road.
I know in the previous video I corrected myself. I called it Who's Road just like the navigation did. But if you do some Googling and some history, apparently it is called Hose Road. Alright, well, we're established here, so I'm going to edit the trip and take out waypoint 2. Now, if you remember this video from my previous ones, you'll know that this curve up ahead has a huge drop-off on the right, and there was only 1 or 2 times that I would not take over for fear of having the car drive off of the road, which would be really bad. So, it's a steep drop-off on that side right now. I'm ready to go, and it's, oh, yep, okay, it was still a little close, but not too close for comfort. And then it slows down really nicely for this line curve. It is a little over the yellow line, so I'll report that. But again, progress is improved. Yeah, those previous videos, especially the first ones, it was like I was not going to let my car get that close. Okay, there were some shadows there, and it did go over the yellow a little bit on that turn, but there was no oncoming cars, so I reported it. Alright, the next intersection. This one has a stop sign, but the crossing traffic does not stop, and it's a quick left and a quick right. I think I've only maybe ever had this work once on previous versions where it would assertively get over into the right-hand lane, especially if there's traffic. I can say I did do this the other day with traffic. It was actually a good scenario. It would have been great on video, and it worked perfectly. My mother was in the car. I told her it probably wouldn't work because she was there, but it did. So let's see what happens. And it has to, you know, wait for this traffic that doesn't stop, which it did, and now it's going to hopefully go, and it has to get over there assertively into the right lane, which, okay, it's, oh, it didn't do it. Okay, well, it did yesterday. This is going to be part of the smaller version. I think it's going to be part of my new test route, and hopefully that works better. You know, I can't guarantee something's going to work, but man, especially with other cars in the intersection, for it to kind of make a nice left and get right, that was perfect. So I wish I could have showed you that. I guess you'll have to watch future videos if you want to see that improve. Okay, so we are, I think because I intervened, it wasn't going on red, which it did yesterday at that spot, so I kind of helped it through the intersection there. I think I've decided my new test route will be this part, and then getting off here and doing the last 2 waypoints, last 3 waypoints. But for now, we are going to let it continue up and do the route that we programmed in using shortcuts. Okay, a little swerve there. That has not been doing that, including our previous versions.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Backlit Road.
So this will be a non-highway route up to the mini modular roundabout, and then we'll be back. So probably parts of this on the highway I will speed up. Okay, that was a pretty good stop at a yellow light. Definitely I've seen some other people that said this version was maybe not stopping well for red lights, but when it comes to yellow, I've had some discussions on some of my other videos. I really don't like aggressive braking at yellow lights because I think you increase your chances of being rear-ended, and some people are afraid to be in the intersection when it's red, but in most states, I think, including this one in Virginia, you know, as long as you enter the intersection when it's yellow, it doesn't matter if it turns red, whether you're turning or going straight. So that was nice. You know, it was a little bit of an assertive stop, but definitely plenty of time to stop there. So that was good. Now there's a little bit less traffic out here than normal. It's a Sunday afternoon on Memorial Day weekend. So far, just had that one intervention to help it get over into the right lane. And if you've watched my videos in the past, you know that I don't particularly aim to shoot no intervention videos. I love it when it happens, but my stance is definitely in the middle. If you take the, I don't even know what it would be, but one side thinking that, like the media kind of portrays, that FSD Beta is supposed to be some something that's about to be released and it needs to be perfect, and oh my gosh, it's making lots of mistakes, to the other side where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so great, I never need to do anything. The middle, I think the reality is you are responsible for driving your car. It may make mistakes, and when it does, those interventions are causing the system to learn, not necessarily in real time, but you know, those clips, whatever Tesla deems appropriate, telemetry and or video, gets sent back to them to improve. So I do not mind intervening. In fact, I probably intervene early and often to hopefully try to fix things. Okay, I don't know, it was gonna try to get, okay, you know what, actually the left lane would have been okay there. I didn't realize that both of these lanes were right lanes, but then it does need to quickly get left, which it did. I've never driven on this part of the road, so that was actually pretty good. That was a nice merge with traffic behind me. Nice slow down there. I do think, and I've seen this myself as well in a couple other videos, where it seems like this version, or maybe both 10.12, has a little bit more ability to look ahead and predict traffic stops, which is one thing that I think definitely is an improvement, because if you've ridden in FSD Beta car or even regular autopilot, you know, I had regular autopilot for a while before I got FSD Beta, it would sometimes slam on the brakes too hard when traffic was stopped, and that's not comfortable for anybody. It's not comfortable for passengers, and it's definitely not comfortable if you think that the cars behind you aren't paying attention. Alright, so this next turn, I have not driven on this section of road before. I've usually taken a different route to get up there, so I think this is pretty cool. And instead of going straight, we added this extra waypoint, so it would be forced to come here and take a left. I have no idea what this intersection looked like, whether that's going to be easy or not. So we will see. You know, and I have two options whenever, you know, you're testing something like this. I either could let it totally try to do its own thing, and if it misses the intersection, I could just let it reroute. But we'll see. In this case, I think I would take over. I think there's valuable data either way, and perhaps both ways are good. I will just have to remember to take out this waypoint once we get close to the turn.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Woodland Drive. Now turn left onto Woodland Drive.
Alright, if traffic was coming, this could be a good intersection, but fairly easy right now, and it was assertive coming through there. Alright, nice slow down for a speed bump. Got another one coming up ahead. Slowed down nicely. Yeah, and I've never been here before, so this is new for me, and likely FSD, but who knows? When I took out the waypoint, it turned on the blinker. That's gone. Got a person walking here. Got over a little bit to the left and slowed down for the speed bump. Oh, that's not the way I wanted to go. So I'm going to throw in another waypoint up here. I think it did for a second, but come on. This is the one part that's a little bit difficult.
Feet, turn left onto Braddock Road.
With live testing and never having driven this before. There we go.
Now turn right onto Braddock Road.
That's definitely not something I would want to do in traffic, but nobody near me. And you know, the way it rerouted was probably better. Okay, nice. Okay, it's gotta go, it's gotta go. All right, it went, and assertive, nice. Gotta get over to the left. Okay, that was perfect. There was a big hill there. We'll see how the 360 video looks, but a car cresting the hill, and it was like, if we're gonna take that turn, which I certainly would have as a human driver, you gotta go. No indecisiveness. So I did not apply any accelerator that time, and it worked great. Okay, so basically the next waypoint I threw in there just to get us the way I wanted to go around this mini modular roundabout. That's a little interesting. I think that's it because it's having us hit it and then get back to the point. But I'm going to take away both of those waypoints before we get there. the way that it had it was coming up and going all the way around the roundabout and back. So who knows? Maybe in the future that's what I'll let it do. But then again, that last intersection was really nice. So I was happy to see that. Okay, green arrow. Not a problem. You have a person trying to cross the street, and it stopped for him, but then he stopped, and okay. I'm going to report that just because that was, I mean, he was not in a crosswalk, and if he had continued across the street, I think FSD Beta stopping for him was good. You know, I looked in my rearview mirror to make sure we had just started accelerating, so I'll probably get lots of feedback in the comments about whether it was right to stop there or not, but anyway.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Okay, took out that waypoint so that we don't stop in the middle of the road, and then as soon as we make the next turn, I will take out the next waypoint, so hopefully we get good routing. The only danger is if it tries to route us up and around to the right, which it shouldn't. You know, so I'm gonna add a waypoint down here just to kind of make sure.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Jayhawk Street. Now turn left onto Jayhawk Street.
Got a pedestrian in the crosswalk. Slow down. Okay. I have not tested these mini modular roundabouts in quite a while, mainly because FSD Beta just seemed to revert in so many little ways that I didn't have as much interest about going out and trying these bigger
In 500 feet,
problems with like
and take
roundabouts
the
and things. It took me so long to get there, and I couldn't make videos. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, it was just a little bit of lack of motivation because I wasn't seeing the progress that I'm seeing in this version. All right, so there is a yield sign. Let's see if we slow down or stop, and we did stop. Those cars, I probably had right away over them, but okay, a little jerky, not perfect, but hey, we got around there. So in overall, not good, not bad. I think that if you go back and look at my videos, that was fairly successful after months at the beginning of just where it tried to drive over the middle of it. But one, I wanted to go back and test it. That was part of this whole Waypoints problem in making this route. So it's good that it still works.
1,000 feet, turn right onto Braddock Road.
So we'll be making a right here and then a left onto the interstate.
Now turn right onto Braddock Road.
Is it going to stop at the yield sign or not? It hesitated, but it didn't stop. So that's good too. And then immediately left into the left-hand turn lane. This is seeming more and more human-like driving. I mean, honestly, this drive today, this is better than the last handful of Uber drivers I've driven with. And I drove Uber multiple times when my car was in service with some cellular connectivity issues after an accident. I think one of the wires was pinched, and so I needed to have that replaced. And so I took a few Ubers on 35-minute trips back and forth to my house, and this is better. This could be good or bad. Let's see, it's a flashing yellow, and I say that because it's either we're going to get through on this flashing yellow and have a good example, or it's going to turn, oh, yep, it's turning red. So that means we'll probably be going on a green arrow, which we know is fairly easy. Check out some of my last videos there. I do have a flashing yellow closer to my house that I've had some experiences with, and one of the last ones, I think my second to last video, showed some huge improvements on that. And this version too, I have seen even better anticipation of, you know, when you have to start accelerating to get through crossing traffic. Oh, that was funny. Okay, you know, I have not seen Top Gun yet. The sign said no need to speed, Maverick. Oh, that's good. Someone has a sense of humor. I should go see that. Being a naval aviator myself. Okay, so we're gonna get off right here on 95 South.
Now take the exit on the right toward Interstate 95 South.
Some people Crean specifically has tweeted recently that maybe V11, which is reportedly for a long time, Elon Musk reports that will be single stack for FSD Beta on the highway and the surface streets, and that may be in shadow mode right now, which means it wouldn't be evident to those driving on it. But if that's true, that means it could have an imminent release, and that's exciting. I can't wait to have that. So let me go back and say that the intro to my part 1 of this video does say that I wanted to make a compilation. That was part of the reason I chose this route. That was good. Passed to the right with a merge lane. And so I wanted to compile a bunch of the clips from my early videos and put them into one and combine this route planning with it. So just a couple more scenarios. Get off the highway here, well, shortly, in 0.7 miles. And we're going to try this little office roundabout that somebody asked me to test back in the beginning. Not so sure about it because it's showing the wrong route. So, yes, I will remove that waypoint, but it's not even on the road. And that's where vision's going to have to take priority over nav, if it's going to work. But we'll take a closer look at that when we get there. And then we're going to pull out and go down and try this U-turn. Okay, that was not great. Car passed at the very last second of a merge, and we probably should have stuck a little bit more left than that. I was paying attention. I saw the guy was basically past me at that point. And maybe that'll be fixed in the single stack, the 11. Following someone in here. I've never seen any other cars in here.
Now turn right.
Oh, they decided they're not going this way. Oh, that was interesting. Because he wasn't fully over. Okay, let's take out this point and reroute and see how it works. Barely had time to reroute. And it's showing the wrong way. So this roundabout it's basically private and it's not in the system correctly, but it went around correctly. It did not try to go the wrong way around the roundabout, which it showed, and now it's hesitating a little bit, and it's diving towards, oh, okay, that's not good, but okay, it made it out. I'm gonna report that. And it's definitely not at all. The nav is totally wrong there. So
now turn right on.
I was going to say it's in the middle lane, and then it corrected. This is very low on my priority list. and I haven't been back in a while. I think it actually used to route correctly around that roundabout. But that goes to show you that vision takes priority over nav. So I'll try this more, see if it gets fixed. Okay, so we took a right on green arrow there. That red arrow is an interesting scenario for FSD because in Virginia you can actually turn right on red arrows, which I think is the silliest thing ever. I'm pretty sure the states I was from or lived in, a red arrow meant you can't turn even if there's no right on red sign. So that's another issue. Something, I don't know how that's going to be solved in neural nets, but playing it safe and not turning right on red seems to be the way that we just handled it. Okay, and so the second to last issue that I want to highlight here on this waypoint is a roundabout. Sorry, not roundabout. U-turn. It has successfully made this U-turn once for me. However, let me take it out now. In doing so, it kind of pulled into that street on the left, and actually, I'm going to have to take over because I don't think it did that in time. So just for the sake of, oh yeah, see it wants to go up there. So it's not even, some U-turns it shows on the nav, and this one it did not. So, you know what? There's no cars coming. I am going to let it see if it can do this route, because it's basically showing a re-engage. I will keep that in my back pocket and try it again. In the past, the nav route on, okay, that's not good. Come on.
Now turn right onto Steptoe Landing.
Okay, so really, this is the first time I've had some problems in this video.
Now turn sharp left onto Alden Station Boulevard.
It's having some trouble in the parking lot. It's having trouble. Whoa. Oh man, what did it think the speed limit was?
Now turn left.
Reported, disengaged. Alright, so we've known for quite a while that parking lots may or may not be
now turn left onto Alden
being
Station
worked on
4.
by the beta team. That was pretty funny.
Now bear right onto Alden Station Boulevard.
I wasn't really expecting that to work. Alright, now we got a stop sign.
Now
This is a
turn
hard
left
intersection
onto
because
Alden Road.
look at that car coming right up over that curve. I think the speed limit's 45 here. It looks like it goes down to 35. And now we can't go yet. There's going to be oncoming traffic. Now we're clear to the right, but not to the left. So again, this is a good place to test. We should be good to go after this white Camry, and it's going, and make a decision. Okay. Alright. There were no other cars coming, but it did a nice job at predicting when it needed to go.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Boudinot Drive. Now turn left onto Boudinot Drive. Take the Virginia 286 North ramp on the left.
Speed limit
Now
is
take the
a little
Virginia
too slow there.
286 North ramp on the left.
And it went to 50, but probably because I was changing the speed limit, didn't go up. All right, well, I think we've seen, for me, that was a very successful drive. The problems there with the U-turn were due to mapping and the way the waypoint system works. It did show a U-turn until I had it reroute. So I'm gonna have to play with that more in the future. Maybe I can put the waypoint sooner. Or there's one more method where you can disengage autopilot before the waypoint, and then it says advance to the next waypoint. So we'll see. But the last thing I'm going to highlight here, getting on to this minor highway, is something that plagued me for a long time, and I think it's finally been fixed. Two things here, and again, hopefully this is the last time in a while that we'll be using navigate on autopilot mode on these types of roads, but there's a part right up here where we still run navigate on autopilot, and it would try to dump us over onto Hose Road, which is where we started this video on the first, major waypoint, and that is finally fixed as well. And that was difficult. I'm thinking early days. Man, if this is taking the wrong lanes and it can't even navigate, and that's not good at all. So the next waypoint I can get rid of. It still has the route that I would like. And we got to get over one more time. And the problem area is right here, where it would always get into that turn lane.
In 1,000 feet, turn right to
And it's right when it goes from navigating autopilot to FSD, so I don't know if that was related. However, it finally works. And so there we have it. Most of the big problems, recapping my videos over the last couple years. In my mind, I'm very happy that works, and with the advent of being able to do these waypoints, I'm going to be able to make a couple more repeatable routes that I could throw in for new releases to test side by side. And then I also do hope to have some time to go and test Washington, D.C. traffic, because that is going to be really challenging. Again, if you go back and look at some of my early Washington, D.C. videos, in some ways, the car did better than me. I didn't understand how some of those really complicated roundabouts and intersections worked, but I had a lack of motivation to go test them because the regressions, especially after removed radar, were so many mistakes here and there. I didn't mind driving with FSD Beta on, and I would just tolerate those mistakes, but they weren't good to make videos because the car was making mistakes all the time. And as you can see from this drive, I think we finally are gonna be on that upslope. I really hope that we improve from here on out. So thanks for watching. This two-part series here was kind of a longer video. I don't know if you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And feel free to comment in the section things you liked, things you didn't like, and things you might want to see in the future. All right, have a good one, everybody.